today I welcome you to a brand new series on UiPath Task Capture. So first, before diving into this series, I would first like to introduce you to UiPath Task Capture. What is this basically? So UiPath Task Capture is a software application or a product that has been launched by UiPath. So this product is used for not only, I would say, capturing all your processes on a keystroke, on a key level basis, or on a keystroke basis, but it is also used in order to document your processes, like to create an automated document out of your process. Like you can create your own process definition document. You can even integrate it to other products, that is UiPath Automation Hub, to increase its functionality in order to provide it to various SMEs or business users or your business analyst, even in order to create quick PDD documents and have them aligned to various automation ideas that you are going to give on that Automation Hub platform. It is also used for exporting sample XAML files, which you can provide to your developers, and they can quickly start building on that particular XAML file, and it's like a head start to your development project itself. So a lot of capabilities it has, right? And basically you can utilize its feature in order to maximize your business efforts as well as your development, minimize your development efforts in a longer run. So without any further ado, let us see like what we are going to discuss today on this video. So today I'm going to first show you what is UiPath Task Capture, right? Exactly, like I'm going to show you how I am going to build a flowchart out of a sampled process that I have picked up, and how we can efficiently use the best practices while we are building out this particular flowchart, right? So before going into this, so this is how the UiPath Task Capture looks like, right? I have opened it up on my screen. So the first time when you open it up, you might get up this particular pop-up where it tells you like, welcome to UiPath Task Capture, right? If you want, you can view the demos, the documentation, or the training that is freely available on UiPath Academy. For now, I'm just closing it, right? So this is like the main screen that I'm always going to get whenever I am in my UiPath Task Capture. Since I am connected to my community edition, so you can see I have all my community edition details here marked, right? So if you are on an enterprise license, you will get the enterprise license ID and all those things. Second thing is also like from here you can start creating processes. You can tweak in some of the settings that I'm also going to show you in some of the future videos, what exactly these settings are and how we can use them. You can also open some of the sample task capture projects that you already have saved, right? So every task capture project can be saved as a .ssp file. That is the extension that we have for task capture. So you can have that, right? So in today's lecture, we are going to see how we will be creating a new process, right, from scratch. So for that, what I have to first do is I have to click on new document, and then from here I can just get started. But before even diving into this, let me first show you what exactly is the process that today we are going to build a particular task capture project on. So just to show you that, I will go to my I have created a folder, and if I take you to one of my folder here on task capture projects, you can see I have a file that I have just downloaded. So this is an Excel file that I have downloaded, and in this Excel file I have all this dummy data. Like I have around 10 records. So these are all like different employee records, you can say, right, in a company. And what I need to do is I need to fill up each of these details into few of the submission forms. Now for the submission form, what I am going to use is basically I'll be going, so for submission form what I'm going to use is I'm going to go inside my RPA challenge website. So if I go to this rpachallenge.com website, right, so let it open, and here I will be showing you, right, like here are like different, basically we will get a lot of forms, right, where we need to fill up all these data. So first to just give you a very general overview of this process, first I'm going to click on the start button. So you can see a round 1 has been started. So what I need to do is I need to copy from each of the records. So let's say when I'm working for record number 2, I have to copy the first name. I have to go here, provide the first name at this particular point. Same thing I have to do for all the details, like last name, maybe for company name, right? And similarly, like I will be doing this for all the fields that I can see on my particular screen. So once I fill up all of these details manually, let's say for the first record, right? Same thing I need to do it for the second record. Now before going to the second record, I'll click on submit button. You can see the fields will get changed, right? And I need to keep on doing it like for multiple times, I would say, till I reach the final screen. So when I go past round 10, you will see that I get this particular screen with me. Okay, so here are like the details regarding the success rate and the millisecond and all those things. So I need to take up a particular screenshot of this process, and that's all, right? So my process is pretty simple. Read the data from an Excel file, fill it up in a particular RPA challenge website, and then at the end take a screenshot and then just close the process, right? Now I have to think from a manual perspective here, like manually when I'm doing it, how will I be doing it? And that is what I need to capture really as a part of my task capture workflow. So now let us jump to the workflow and see how that works, right? So first I'll close all this window that I don't require as of now. Now here when I go with, I will just click on new document. So here are like two approaches that you can see whenever you start any task capture project. Do you want to build a diagram or you want to capture process? Build diagram is mainly like you are going to create a workflow, and then after creating the workflow you are going to capture actions for each of the sequences that will be in that workflow. Now for this you need a good knowledge on how to create flowcharts, and again this is a preferred way, I would say it is the most recommended way, because you can handle complex automations which has a lot of conditional branching, which has a lot of decisions to be taken up, right? You can control it efficiently when you go with a build diagram approach. When we go for capture process is just recording a linear sequence of all the actions one after another. And this can be useful for certain situations when we have very simple projects, but in very complex processes where we have to make decisions, right? This thing won't help you a lot. So what we will be going ahead with is the build diagram approach. So let me go with build diagram now. So as soon as I click on build diagram, you can see that by default two of my stages have been captured. One is this is called as an event element that I have. This is called as a sequence element that I have. And again, this is a palette that you can see, right? Now on the left hand side you can see all the available elements that I have. So there is not a lot of options, like you have only sequence, event and decision. So basically you again have something called as a swim lane. So swim lane would be like if you want to bifurcate your workflow into multiple segments, you can use the swim lane approach as well, right? And then again there is also something called as a BPMN element. So this is like something advanced, like if you want to have gateways, you want to have intermediate events, you want to have tasks, and then again if you want to, let's say, have pool, you can use this. And BPMN elements is something that I'm going to cover in the future videos as we go on this particular series, right? So for today we are only going to focus on the basic elements, and we are going to see how quickly we can build a particular task capture project out of these basic elements. So the first thing that I will do is to access the properties of any of these elements, you first need to click on the element. As soon as you click on the element, on the right hand side you can see that there is a properties panel that I am seeing. So here you can give certain things like description. Again, whatever description you are giving, it won't be exported to your Word document. But if you are sharing this project with some other developer or some other business analyst or SME, right, they will get a very proper idea exactly what each of the sequences doing for you. So as a best practice, you always should be giving these names of the sequences, right? Again, there are certain other things like the color, the outline. So for our project, let's say we'll choose a color, right? So for the start and the end stages, I'm always going to use something like a blue color, and let's say I'm going to give an outline of black to it. Okay, so as soon as I do it, you can see that this is how it appears to me. Okay, so this is the start stage. Now again, you can also resize if you want any of these elements. So you can see that I am also able to resize it, right, as I want to do it. You can also move it. So all these things are possible. Now coming to the next element that I have, which is a sequence, right? Now this sequence, what I'm going to first keep here is, first I need to open my RPA challenge website. So what I'm going to do here is, first I'm going to give a particular name to this title. Okay, so I just clicked on the title section. So just let me show you again. Click on the sequence. There is a pencil, there should be a pencil icon at the very top of the properties. You just click here and then you just name it, right? So I will say it as launch RPA challenge website. Okay. So that's it. So as soon as I give this kind of a action name, right, now what I can do is I can add actions inside this particular sequence. Now this is what the task capture is actually going to capture for me. Okay. So if I click on start capture, it will prepare the capturing environment for me, and then a pop-up window will appear to you, so you can move this anywhere you want. Okay, so this is like kind of a helper. So from here I can pause my recording, I can start my recording, I can stop my recording, all these things I can do. I can even give names to each of the actions that I'm going to perform. So in order to now start, the first thing that I'm going to do is I will first click on capture, start capture. So now you can see that capturing is paused, it is telling me, right? But here I have again 2-3 options, like I can either pause it or I can either stop it. So currently if I click on anything or if I type anything, that thing is going to get captured for me. So what I will now do is, the first thing I'm going to do is to open up a browser. So I can do it like this, like I can just double click on Google Chrome. As soon as I do it, you can see that one action got captured, that it is telling me, right? And again there is a limit that I have, which is like 499. So what does this limit means? If you read the place, like if you read this tooltip, it tells you that it is the optional maximum number of recorded actions per document. Now there is a recommendation that has been given by UiPath Task Capture product team that you should always keep your recorded actions till 500 in one particular document, because if you exceed that, the performance can get impacted while generating the screenshots or while preparing the documentation, right? Or while even exporting the XAML file. So it is always recommended, try to keep a optimal number of actions per document that you are going to create. Now so you have to abide by this, right? Second thing is, you can also see we have something like action title and action description. Now what do these particular field means? For every action that we are doing, we can give a name to that particular action. If we don't give it, what UiPath Task Capture will do is, it will give a default name by itself. And again, this is a setting that you can also tweak in, like you can also change or you can tweak. That also I'm going to cover in the future videos about the settings part in quite great details, right? But for now, just remember, as a best practice, whenever you are capturing anything, always give that action title there. So what I am going to give here is, like, I will say it as launch the Chrome browser application. Okay, so this is the name of the action that I have. And now here, if I want, I can also tell it like exactly, like if I want to give some details, right? I can say like double click on the Chrome desktop application. Okay. So like this, I can just give something. Okay. Now, as soon as I do it, right? So this is the first capture that has been performed for me. Now here, if I want, I can also give some kind of, like I can type something, I can click somewhere, that will also get captured. If you don't want to capture all these things, you can just pause it. So if I pause it and if I do anything on my screen, right, you can see that now it is currently like it is now currently basically in a pause state. Okay, so I can now close this pop-up, maybe like unwanted pop-ups I can close if I want, if I don't want to capture them. Now I can again resume it in order to just show you how it now looks like. Now if I click on resume, right, so here first I will make a click, right, so that also gets captured for me. So here's like that click got captured for me. Now let's say I don't want to really give an action title to it, so I will be showing you how we can merge few of the actions in order to create one action altogether. So here one action is click that I'm doing. Second action is that I'm also going to type the website, right? So www. So you see, like whatever I'm doing, right, even the backspaces and all these things are getting captured for me. Okay, so this is what happens in task capture. So if you are even like mistyping something, that can get captured. So you always need to be aware of that. Okay, we can delete these actions going ahead, and I'll show you how to delete it as well. So for now, what I will be doing is I'll be just typing the name of the website, www.rpachallenge.com, and then I will click on enter button. So now as soon as I click on enter button, the website will get launched, right? So 10 actions have been like captured so far. Now the last action I can maybe say it as type the I can say it as, let's say, something like navigate. Okay, navigate to RPA challenge website. So this is the action title. Here I can say it like type the website URL, and I can maybe also tell like what was the website URL. Let me also give one more forward slash backslash, yeah, and then I can just say it as RPA challenge.com. okay, in the web address field of the browser application. Okay, so I gave this now, right? After this, what I need to do is, the next step is to click on the start button. So as soon as I click on the start button now, here I can just give some action title as click on the start button, and here I can just say that click on the start button in order to start the RPA challenge event. Okay, I can just say it something like that, and once I've given all these titles, I can just click on stop. So you see, like once I clicked on stop, so sometimes like in my machine there is some issue with my particular selector for now, so I'm getting the pop-ups. Now here again it is telling me like, do you want to detect and merge the same screen actions? So if I want to merge, let's say, multiple actions together, I can do it like this. Like I can click on detect, and once I click on detect, it will automatically detect with me. Okay, now if I want, I can merge all the detected screens, otherwise I will review the detected screen. In my case, I want to review it, okay, because I don't want to merge everything. So now I have given it as a review. Okay, so once I give it as review, you can see there are multiple groups that got created. Okay, so first I will close this pop-up. Okay, so right now this pop-up is coming due to some system configuration issues that I have, but usually you won't get this particular pop-up at your end. So now if I go here, you can see that all these actions got captured under this particular sequence. Okay, and now you can see that there is also a particular icon, like a wizard, like a wand icon I have here, and this is telling me that this sequence has actions that you might want to merge. Click to review the suggestions. Okay, so if you want, you can either merge everything without reviewing it, or you can go inside each of the group and review it carefully one by one. So I will go and first review it. So I will first click on any of the actions. You just double click on it. You will go inside the action panel. Like this is the action viewer, like how each of the action looks like. Now here you can do all these modifications. Now here, like you can see, for the first action, first I double clicked on the Chrome browser application, right? So by default something else also got like captured. So this is like by default what UiPath tries to give you, right? The task capture product. So you can just go ahead and just backspace and just remove it. Okay, so I'm just fine tuning each of my actions now. So if I now again zoom into it a bit, I can again zoom it using the slider below, and here also I can just position the screenshots properly if I want to do. Okay, so I can just position it like this, and that's it. Like I can just say that, okay, first click on this particular browser, right? Then I can go to the next site, and now here what I can do is, you can see like here first I'm clicking on the URL, right? Then after that you can see I was typing only www dot, so I mistyped something, so I can just delete this because I don't want it. Okay, here also I press the backspace, so I can again delete it if I want. Okay, so I can remove all these things, like the unwanted things, right? So this is unwanted, this is unwanted. You can see till the last part I have everything as unwanted. Okay, like till this particular part. So I can probably select everything. To select everything, what you do is you first click on one action, then you press Control and you select each of the actions that you want to delete. So let's say I want to delete everything till this part. Okay, and if I click on remove, right click and remove, it will remove it. Now you can see I have two things here, right? Either I can either capture this particular screenshot, right, where I am typing www.rpachallenge.com. Okay, again here are some unwanted, like press back, I can remove it and I can just fine tune it, and again this looks good to me. Now if you want, you can also make all these things as like if you want, You can also probably like change some of the text here, like you can provide some of the you can like hide some of the sensitive fields, you can do all these things, okay. And I am going to show you some of that. But before going to that, one thing I also would like is like I would want here the exact URL to be captured, okay, which I typed. So what I can probably do is, now let's say if I want to change this particular screenshot, I can just click here on this particular three dots, okay, and there is something called as a replace image. So if you have already an image, you can replace it. Otherwise you can capture a screenshot. You can even delete the image, you can even copy the image if you want. So I will click on capture a screenshot. So before that I have to first make my website ready. So what I will be doing is I will just backspace, and here first I will just type the exact URL .rpa challenge.com. okay, so this is like the exact URL that I have typed. Okay, so I now want to capture it. So what I will be doing is I will go here, capture the screenshot, and now here I can just set a size and I can then press enter. So as soon as I do that, now you can see that the new screenshot has been captured, right? And here what I can do is I can again use this rectangle sign, right? If you go here, you can make it rounded rectangle, normal rectangle, or circle, like whatever marker you want to keep. So I am going to put maybe let's say normal rectangle, and what I am going to do is I am going to capture this particular field. So that's it. Like you can change the colors if you want, you can change the size, the width, all these things you can change if you want, okay. So I have done it like this, and if I want to also hide something, like let's say I don't want to give all this particular icons, right, I can also hide these icons. What I need to do is I just need to click on this blur icon, and then I can just move it here, and it will just hide all the like unwanted or unneeded details for you, okay. So this is how now it looks like, okay. So I have fine-tuned it, and this is what I have got. Now one thing also I want to do here is, here I have said like type the website URL, and if you see the first piece, right, here I am clicking on the search secure button. So now if I want, I can select these two, and after selecting these two also, let me just go here, yeah. So here what I can now do is I can go to this group 4. Now in the group 4, if you see, right, I have all the actions that got merged together, okay. So I can either click on merge all if I want to merge everything together, or I can just leave them as it is, okay. So first let me go here, okay. Let's say I don't want this thing at all right now, okay. So let's say I don't want the click piece. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to say that navigate to RPA challenge website, and here I'm going to type the URL, and after typing the URL I'm just going to say that and press the enter key. That's all, okay. After this I can say that okay, once this has been done, then you click on the start button. Now again here I will be just removing it, like what I don't require. Now here if I want, I can use some different color, because here the color scheme looks bit similar to me. So I will just increase the size, okay. And what I can probably do here is I can make it maybe as a yellow color, or yeah, we can make it like this. We can just size it a bit like this, okay. So this is how now it looks like to me. Now if I also want, I can also highlight it. If you want to highlight this particular field, right, you can even do that. Like you can even also highlight this field. So in order to highlight a field, there is a highlight option you can see here in this particular part, okay. So here what you need to do is you can just give and just provide the highlighter like this, okay. I can maybe make the size bit less, like just to fit it within the frame, and that's all, okay. So now it appears like this, and then yes, I can just resize it a bit like this. So now you can see that I have now properly highlighted the element as well, like after giving it. So if I just zoom out a bit, so now this looks like this, okay. So I have highlighted the element, I have just marked it, and now if I want, I can mark it maybe as red. Now it makes sense to me, okay. So now it is red, and if I want, I can also increase the height of the selector, okay. So now it looks proper to me. So like that you can just go ahead and you can just first like select all these things that you want to select, okay. Now once I have done this, okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm also going to blur some of the elements that may be unwanted to me, okay. So maybe I don't want all these things to be appearing on my screen. So I can maybe select one blur stage here, and then I can give one more blur stage maybe somewhere below this. Okay, so like this I can give, and then again I can maybe give one more blur stage just to hide this particular part, right? So you can give as many blur stages as you want, right? And you can just blur out all the unwanted section or the unwanted details, okay, in your screenshots. And like this, first you can just create a particular sequence. Okay, now once I have done this, okay, I can, if I now want to go back to the diagram, I can go back, and that's it. Okay, so now it is ready. If I go to properties, you can even change the coloring of the sequences. Okay, so currently it is white in color, so if I want to give it some other color, you can also provide the same thing, and that will appear in that way. Okay, so most likely I won't give it any color, so I don't want to give it any color. Let's say I only have it like this, and that's all. Okay, so now these two sequences I will just put it here. So now what I have done so far is I have launched the RPA channel website, right? Next thing is I also now want to open my Word file so that I can read it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a sequence, and so in order to add a sequence, again, there are two ways you can do it. Just let me show you. One is either you can click on a sequence, and then probably like you have to link it manually. In order to link something, you can hover over this plus sign. There is an arrow button you will see. So just click on it and don't leave it, like you have to hold it, click and hold, and then you have to drag it all around. So if I drag it here now, I can simply link these two fields. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. The other way is you can hover over the plus sign, and you can just click on add sequence. So you can either add decision, event, sequence, all these things you can add. So let's say I add a sequence, okay, and I can name now in order to name it also the same approach I will follow, and I will just name it as read input file. So this is the name that I'm giving to it, and that's all. Now if I want to also give some description, I can give those description, like open the RPA challenge website and start the round. Okay, and start the rounds for entering details. Okay, and here also if I want, I can give like read the input Excel file and fetch the required details. I can give it something like this. That's all. Now once I've given it like this, now the next thing that I can probably do is, okay, at this particular part, if I want to read the input file, either I can use a read activity, or otherwise what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just open the input file. So let us only give open input file instead of read input file. Okay. So I just want to open my input file at this particular point. So I will just open my input file. Now here what I'll be doing is I'll be now capturing few actions, okay, in order to open that Excel file up quickly. So I'll click on start capture again. It will prepare the capturing environment for me. Now as soon as I have done this, right, now in order to open this, I can do it like two ways. Either I can just type in this particular location if I remember it, right, or like what I can do is I can probably just go and just manually click and open that, right. So I have two options in order to do that. If you want to skip this process of navigating to this folder path, you can also do that, right. So it depends on how you want to have it like operated. Okay, so for me what I'll be doing is I'll be doing it from scratch. So I will be first click on start capture. Now it is capturing everything. So first I'll open file explorer for me. Okay, now in order to open file explorer, again I have two approaches. I can click on start and I can type the file explorer name and I can open it from there, or I can open it from this particular icon itself. Okay, so let me go with the icon approach. So I first click here and I will name this title as open file explorer, and description I can maybe say it as click on the file explorer window, on the file explorer icon, taskbar icon. Okay, that's it. Now the next action I'm going to do is I'm probably now going to go to my documents section. So I click on documents. So I will name it as navigate to documents. I will say it as click on the documents submenu. Okay. after this, let's say I will just pause it for now. Okay, I want to directly click on task capture project, so I will again resume it, double click on task capture projects. I will say it as open task capture projects folder, projects directory. So I can just say it as double click on the task capture projects directory, and after I have done this, I can probably also say it as like, after this I just want to open this particular file, right? So I can just double click here and I can just say it as open input file. So I can say, now here I can write it as click on the challenge dot xlsx file, that's all. I can just write it like this. Okay, so once I have all these things set up now, so after this I can just stop it. Okay, now similar to the previous approach as well, here also, right, you can see that the first thing that it has captured is, okay, so it is again asking me, do you want to detect and merge same screen actions? Let's say I don't want to do it this time. Okay, so I can just close it. So here the first thing I can do is I can probably size all of these things to properly. So I go here, give the right size, that's all. Okay, yeah, so this is the first thing I did for one of them. Now second thing that I can do is I can go to this second action. Here also let me just type it as navigate to documents. So here also I can, if I want, I can resize it properly just to like give it a proper width. Okay, that's all. Similar to this, I can also go to the next action. So here also if I want, I can just size it a bit, and I can again, here also I need to just clear up the default text that I'm getting. Okay, the last is this part where I can just say again remove the default text and I can just resize it a bit. That's all. So in all these steps I have shown how the task, how basically I am opening the input file that I have. Okay, so this will be like one step now. So with this I have opened up the input file, I have launched the RPA challenge website. Okay, now once all of these things has happened, okay, here now what I can do is I can probably now give a decision stage. Okay, now this decision stage, what it will be like, is my input file blank, right? If it is blank, then I do not need to proceed ahead, correct? So I can name this decision as is input file blank. Okay, I can just name it like this, and once I name it like this, I can maybe just give it some color, and again I can just give it some color here, like a yellow color, let's say. Okay, and I can just apply the same styles to all the elements. So when I click on this checkbox, what it will do is it will apply the same color to any decision box that I'm going to put after this. Okay, so at times you might do this, okay, if you want. So currently I'm doing it just to make it consistent. Okay, so here I have given it like this, and now here also I'll just add an arrow, and that's all. So this is now how this decision box looks like. Now if it is true, right, if it is blank, I will again create an event, and now again I can do the same thing here. I will click on start and I will just name it as apply styles to elements of same type. So now here also I can name this event maybe as something as end. Okay, so in case if there is no file, I want this to simply just end the process at that particular point. Okay, now here on this particular part, okay, if you go here, you can see that it is giving me something like a value. Okay, if I want, I can just double click on the value part and I can just name it something. Okay, so I can, let's say, name it as blank. Okay, so if it is blank, it is going to go to this side. If it is not blank, right, then it is going to go down. So I can maybe name it as blank, or maybe I can make it as yes or no. So let me give it as yes. Okay, so if input file is blank, it will go to end. If it is not blank, then it will go ahead. So now here what I can do is I can now again create a sequence. So I will add a sequence, and here I will name it as no. Okay, so if it is not blank, then what I need to do? Okay, so I will be now reading the file, like reading each of the record, and I'll be entering the data. Okay, so here I can maybe just type it as the sequence as fill the forms. Okay, I can just say fill uh, fill RPA challenge form. Okay, that's all. So now here what I have to do is, okay, so here firstly let me just create it bit to the side, okay, so that it does not overlap. So you can just create it like this. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, so let me again just try to resize it properly. Yeah. Okay. So like this, you can just resize it if you want anywhere, right? You can just click here. You can just drag it maybe to the side, right? You can again, I can just, if I want, I can drag it here like this. Yeah. And if I want, I can just do it like this. Okay. So you can just play with it, and you can just size it up, okay, as you want. So I will just size it up to the side. Okay. So now once I have done this, okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is, once I have filled up the RPA challenge form, okay, I will fill up each of the detail. Then I will basically click on the at the end I'm going to click on the next button, right, after each of the rounds. And then I'm also going to see, is it my last employee record or not. If it is the last employee record, then probably I just want to create one more decision flow. Okay, so if I again create one arrow here, I can just name it as, is the current record or I can just say it as maybe like, is the current row the last record. Yeah. That's it. So I can just name it something like that. Okay, sorry, my bad, I'm not given and I didn't press enter. So is current record last record. Yeah. So if I click on enter now, I get a decision like this, right? So here also, if I want, I can say it as a yes or no. If it is a yes, then again what I'll be doing is I'll be again filling up the RPA challenge form. Okay, so I will be again going here, take the next value up, and then I will be going to the next part, right? So it will be like a more like a loop, you can say. And if it is a no, right, in that case what I'll be doing is I'll be taking a screenshot. So I can just again maybe, let's say, create a sequence. So again, at blank sequence I'm creating, I can maybe name it as capture screenshot. Capture results screenshot. And once I have captured the screenshot, I can just connect this flow back to my end stage. Okay, so like this, it will just keep on going. It will just keep on going into a loop. Okay, in order to just see how it works. And one thing also I can do is, probably at this stage, I will just name the flows. Okay, if it is no, then it will fill up the RPA challenge website. If it is yes, then it is simply just going to capture the other screenshot. So this is how the entire flowchart now looks like. If I want, I can just maybe just size it a bit. So like this, now it looks like, okay. And here now let us try to fill up each of the sequences that we have. So I'll again click on start capture for filling the RPA challenge form. Okay, so now I have to now switch into my both of my website and my Excel file. So first I click on start, okay, and then I'll just click on start capture. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is first I'm going to pause it. Now I'll resume it. Okay, so let me just first resume it. So first I will be first I'll go here. Just 1 second. Okay, let me just again pause it. First click on this pop-up for enable editing. Yeah, now let me resume it. So first I go here, right, and I will now try to first copy the content of it. So it has captured all these actions that I have done, okay, and now I will again switch to my other tab, that is in the Chrome. Click on again resume, and again I will just paste it. Okay. So this is more for first name. Now similarly I have to do the same thing for the other parts also. So first going before this, I'll first check what is getting captured. I can click here, and if I go here now, right, you can see like I have few things that have been captured just like this. Okay, so first I'll just close it. I don't want to detect and merge same screen actions for now. I will now delete firstly these three things at the top. Okay, so here also it is, I'm not getting the right thing. So till this part I'm not getting the correct thing. Okay, so here I get the right thing. So what I will be doing now here is I'll be deleting these two things. So here what I'm first doing is first I'm selecting the particular cell, right? So I can maybe zoom in, and then what I can do is I can copy the section here for John, okay, and then I can just say it as, okay, I can tell it as select first name cell for current record, okay, like this. So once I've done this, after this what I'm going to do is I can just name a description, like click on the current click on this cell with current row number and column as first name. Okay. So once I've done this, then after this what I can do is I can go to the next part. Okay. Here I can just say it as, here I have said press Ctrl A, so I can name it as maybe select the content. Okay. Select the content for first name, and here I can say press Ctrl plus A in order to select the content of the cell for the cell for first name. And once I have done these two things, okay, the next, so here also if I want I can just write it here as I can just highlight it first. Okay, so I will just highlight this section maybe. That's all. So once I've highlighted this section, then I can just go here and then I can say copy the content. Okay, so I'm just saying that copy content for first name, and then here also if I have to add the description, I can again write the same thing as here also, and I will just change it a bit, like press Ctrl C in order to copy the content of the cell for the first name. Now when I go to the next action, here what I can do is I can probably highlight it a bit bigger in size, and I can just say it as click on first name field, and then I can name it as like click on the first name field in order to activate the web element, in order to activate the element. And once I have written it, then I will go to the next part, and here I will just say it as, I can just copy this again, this section, and I can just paste it here with just some bit minute modification. Press Ctrl V in order to paste the content of the cell for first name. Okay, and then I can just say it as set. I can maybe write it as set value for first name, right? So this is what I have done for the first name fields. Like I just went here, utilize all these actions whatever I am having here, right? And then I just simply go and I simply just write everything up. Now the same thing I have to do for all the other fields as well. So the like all these 5 actions that I have done for first name, right? The same actions I have to also do for the other cells as well. So if I again go here back to my diagram first, right? I will just again go here and that's all. So currently, like you can see, like I have 5 actions as of now and it takes me 12 seconds. So even I get a time based comparison, like how much time does it take, right? If I want to add more actions to it, okay, what I can also do it now here is, if I go here and if I click on any of the actions, I can just click on any of these things, okay, and then let me just show you that. So here is a plus sign that I can go with, and here I can just use the capture more actions, okay. So if I click on capture more actions after clicking on the plus sign, what I can now do is I can now again start capturing, okay, and then again I can do the same thing. So if I do it now for the second one, right, so let me first go to start capture. So first I selected it, right, then I will select here, press Ctrl A, press Ctrl C, and once I have done this, I will again pause it, go to the RPA challenge website, right, again go to last name and I will again paste it. I can again stop this here and just see what got captured. So now if you see, first it is saying that I clicked on the last name. So again I will again I can just say it as maybe close, okay. So maybe if I want, I won't show it again. So if I click here and if I say close, it won't show up, okay. You can again merge actions from this particular edit menu if you want, okay. Detect same screen actions or merge all same screen actions, you can use this functionality. If I want to show you also how that functionality works, I can just show you that quickly. So what merge actions does is, like if you have same screen actions, right, multiple times, if you are doing some kind of a press keys, so it can merge everything all together, okay. Like in this example, what we are doing is we are going to last name, right. We go to last name, we click on Smith, then we click on this Control A, Control C, right. We are doing all these things. So if I now select all of these actions, okay, and then if I click on edit, and then if I say merge all same screen actions, okay, just one second, if you change your mind you will be, so yeah, so if we just close it now, okay, so that pop-up will come once, okay. Now let me again just say detect all same screen actions. I'll first detect it. So let me first detect it, and once it has been detected, then I will just say that review detected, okay. So here you can see that, okay, this is like a part of the same group, okay. These all are a part of a same group. Similarly, these 4 are a part of a same group, and this is a part of a same group, okay. So if I now click on merge all, okay, now it will simply merge it, and when it merges it, right, you will get all these things, like it took what data it took up, right, what it did, all those things will get merged for me, okay. So and here also the same thing will happen, it will again merge all the actions that I am doing in one particular section itself, okay. So sometimes it is useful, sometimes you may not want it to work like that, okay. So if you again want to, let's say again split it, you can again click on here and you can again split it. So like this, it again can get split it, okay. So if for now, let's say if I want to split it, I can also split it, but the only problem is once you split it, right, the ordering will get a bit messed up, okay. So what I will do is I'll just do Control Z just in order to see that, okay, how it looks like, right. So for me now, this looks a better approach, okay. So because I want everything to be in a proper sequence, that's the only reason, right. So here also what I can do is, one thing I can do is, now here the screenshot, if I want to change, I can change that screenshot, okay. I can maybe take it from a file and I can just maybe capture this particular part, okay, and press enter. So here you can see, like, okay, first name has been given as John. right? Now if I want, I could also like take in the entire screenshot also. So if I want, I can take the entire thing, but here what ideally I would want is I wouldn't want this Smith to be here, okay, because currently I was only working for John, right? So what I can do is I can again replace the image, capture a screenshot, take all of the data maybe from here till here, and that's it. Okay, I can just press enter and I can just create something like this. Okay, so this is what I have. Now here also if I go, I can also do the same set of actions, okay, like for last name, if I this one maybe I don't require it, I can remove it. From here I can go, okay, and again I can just copy paste few of the sections that I have written here. So like this one I can just paste here. So instead of first name I will just call it as last name maybe, right? Again similar to this, like here I am using this Smith, right? So I can just maybe capture this part, okay. So if I just again scroll up, and then like this I can just rearrange it. Similar to this also, if I want to do a control A and a control C kind of an operation also, right, that also I can probably just show it here. So I just need to select maybe this Smith. So once I selected this, I can again copy paste the descriptions, see similarly, okay, like select the content for first name, I can name it as select the content for last name, right? Here also I can do the same thing, I can copy this, okay, paste it here, just make it as last name, and same thing I'll be also doing for this piece as well. So copy the content, right, again try to paste the content here as well, copy the content for last name. In the description also I can just say it as like this one also should come into last name. So once I have copied everything here, I can now go to my last two parts, that is to click on the first name and the last name. So here if I go, I can just go here and just maximize, just properly highlight it, and then I can say last name field, and similarly here also I can just copy this, I can just paste it, last name field, and like this here also I can do the same thing, like I can just go here and I can copy the entire content. Again I can just copy the same thing like a last name. So once I have done all these things, right, so the same thing I need to do for all the fields, right? So for now I am not going to do it for all the fields, but yeah, as a part of your task capture project you can do it for all the fields that you have. And once you have done it for all the fields, what you can then do is you can just click on this submit button, right? So what I will be now doing is I'll be just capturing one action where I just click on the submit button, just to show you how it works. So I'll just click on start capture, and then I will just click on the submit button, okay, and here I can just say it as submit the form, okay, and here I can just say it as maybe click on the submit button, that's all, and then I can just stop it. So what now it has done, it will now capture like what I'm going to give in the submit button. So I can just again, just 1 second, so let me again try to select it, drag it properly, right? Once I've dragged it, if I want I can also highlight the same thing, okay, so I can just first use a highlighter like this, and then I can just move it inside the borders. like this, you can just go ahead and you can just highlight the text as well. Okay, so same thing, like even here, if I want, I can also do it like this. Like here also, the last name, if I wanted, I could have made that one change, right? I can just go here and just put this thing here as well. Okay, something like that. So these things you can do, like whenever you are building a proper flow chart, or a proper action, right? Always make sure whatever actions you are doing, the sequence and all these things should come up. The reason why I'm focusing more on the sequences, because this is what your XAML file or your workflow, your studio file will look like, right? So it needs to be very much proper. So merge and detect, at times it can work, but again, many times you might have to think when to use it and when not to use it. Okay, so that is when merge all will come into picture. Now once everything has been done here, right, now here what I need to do is I need to basically take the screenshot, right? So here, like what I can probably do is I can again click on start capture. This is the last part of my workflow, and once I click on start capture here, right, let me again click on start capture. So here maybe like what I can do is I can either do it using a snipping tool. Again, like this is like will be done basically by the bot. So when you will be building it, you will have your own screenshot activities, right? But for now, let's say I will use something like a Windows S. Let me just give me 1 second. Let me first try to submit all of these things. So I will just pause it first. I will click on submit till the last round, right? And when I come to this part, right, here I need to take the screenshot. So here what I can do is probably I can say Windows Shift S, and then I can just take the screenshot maybe. Okay, that's all. Yeah. And I can just say it as take screenshot. Okay, so I'm just saying it as capture screenshot by pressing. So I have pressed like Windows plus Shift plus S. So that thing I can just type it here. Now again, the bot need not do the same thing. Some things you can obviously I would say like replace by your automation activity, right? So those things, like basically as a part of your PDD, you just need to say that what is the exact step that you were doing, right? So this is the reason why I have taken it like this. And then if you want, you can also add one more action, that would be to basically close your application itself. So if I just capture it and just click on the close button, you can just name it as like close application. So I can just say it as close click on the close button, click on the close button for RPA challenge application. That's all. And then again I can maybe like click on stop, or if I want I can also close the Excel file as well at this particular point, right? Depends on what I want, right? So probably I don't want to capture that, let's say, so I can just stop it, and that's all. So here I am just closing the application, right? So this is the entire PDD workflow that I have created for my process, right? And again, all these decision boxes, basically they won't be in your studio file, so you have to pre-build those decisions, right? Exactly what is the decision that needs to be taken place, right? But it can act as a skeleton framework of your project, right? And what you can do is, like, once you have completed it, right, now the next thing you can do is you can click on file, you can save this project if you want. Okay, so if I want to save this project, I can either do Ctrl S or press save. I can go to the same folder which I was working on, that was for the task capture projects, and here I can maybe name it as like RPA challenge task RPA challenge task capture. Okay, I can just name it something like this, and it will save it as a task capture process document. Okay, so if I click on save, so if I show you now on that particular website, so this is a .ssp file that was created for you. Okay, so this is the task capture project file. Now the interesting thing is, from here, this file menu, you can even, if you want, you can even export it. You can even import certain diagrams, like if you have some Visio diagram, right, which you want to import, you can import it. If you have some BPMN diagrams, you can even import those, right? So if you are using any other tools which support these extensions, You can even import these diagrams in your task capture. If you want to export your diagrams, you can even export them into docx, .xaml file, .jpeg file, right? If I just show you a couple of examples, like if I just export it to a docx file, right? So currently, like you can see, I have like here I have like two sections, right? First is the title section. So whatever title I will give here will be displayed on my PDD document. That is a process definition document, right? So here you can see the placeholders, how it will look like. So maybe the title I can say it as RPA challenge automation process. Okay. And description, maybe I can say that this is the process definition document for defining the as is flow of the RPA challenge project. Right? And in the author name, I can maybe type my name, right? And then in the template view, you can select some of the templates that are visible here, right? So here we have currently two templates, which is the default template. One is the UiPath PDD, one is the Automation Hub PDD. Okay, so you can use any one of these. You can even add your own templates, and in the next session, most likely I'll be showing you how we can create our own custom templates, right? On the same like the project that we have built up. So I will show you how you can create your own custom templates there, right? So here you can also select the image quality. You can show like what image size you want. All these things you can set it from here. Okay. So for now, I will be selecting the UiPath PDD, and I will just click on export. Right. So as soon as I click on export, it will ask me where you want to save it. So let's say I want to save it in that same document. I will name it as RPA challenge process automation process PDD, and I'll just click on save. So it will generate a file at this particular point of time, and this is basically the PDD file that is being generated for you automatically. Okay. So once now, if I now click on open file from here, right, you can just see that file. Let me just show it to you. Don't save. Yeah. So here it has created a sample file for me, as you can see, right? If I just zoom in a bit, so you will be able to see it is like RPA challenge automation process. This is the process as is flow, right? All this thing you are able to see here. And again here you can see some of the like, so basically everything won't be populated here. Like my name has been populated, right? So there are certain placeholders with which it actually works, but a lot of things can be filled up, like the execution time, which it has captured internally, the description, the process full name, right? The diagram that you had, again how many clicks you made, which windows you went out to, right? All these things will be there, and I'll be sharing it in a very deep detail in my upcoming session, how exactly it works, right? And you can see all the screenshots and whatever you have mentioned, right, as actions, those have been also mentioned here, okay, automatically for you. So this is a very useful tool, I would say, if you are going to generate a PDD for a very complex project, or if you have even a short project, right, that you want to fill up, you can just go ahead and you can again just fill it up quickly. Okay, so this is how it gives you all these things. Okay, and you can like fill up every detail, each and every detail that you want to fill up. Okay, so I will be now closing it, and the last feature that I want to show you is you can also export it as a XAML file if you want, in either Studio or Studio X, and you can also import it as a diagram. So if you import it as a diagram, it is pretty much simple. Like it will just give you a JPG diagram of your workflow that you can easily copy paste somewhere if you want. And if you want, you can also create a XAML file out of it. So if I go to UiPath Studio XAML, you can select like, do you want it in classic activities, which used to be the prior activities that were there, right? Modern activities were introduced later on when we went to 2020 version, and then you can you can select either one of them, and you can then click on export. So I will select this, and then it will simply generate that studio file for me as well, right? So let me also quickly show you how that looks like. So if I open up that file now, right, on my UiPath Studio, I can show you how it looks like. So as you can see, it has now created all these sections for me, right? And here you can see, right, I have the decision box. Now again, like I told you, expressions won't be written, so you have to write all these expressions, but it will create a simple workflow for you which you can use in order to maybe, let's say, launch the application, right? In order to open the input files. So if I open any one of them, so you can see it is now trying to open, so it is trying to do all those clicks in order to open that particular file, and then it will try to do that particular automation on top of it, right? So you can use all these things just to have a very quick start in your application. Okay, now again, I won't say like this is going to give you a very robust workflow, like if you are thinking like it will give you something based on RE frameworks or some of the best practices, it won't be able to give you that. But how you can leverage it, in my experience so far, because even like I am also using task capture, so how we are doing it, like we use it in order to just maybe generate some selectors which can just be, like give us a go ahead, like we can just copy paste few of the sections and we can use it, right? But again, design of the workflow and solution needs to be done as per the best practices, so you can only use it as a reference, I would say. You won't be able to use it, you should not be able to be using it like as a entire project as it is, right? So this is like the overall thing that I have seen so far. So but again, yeah, like feel free to share any feedbacks or any experiences that you have in the comment section below. That will also help us to be also know, like help us to know different types of insights, right, that we are using in the industry. Okay, so yeah, like this is all in all a very basic overview of how you can work with task capture. How you can quickly generate some quick workflows, some PDD documents. Next session we are most likely going to see that how we are going to create our own PDD template out of task capture. So if you guys like today's video, please make sure that you click on that like button. Also, in order to be updated with all the latest videos that are going to come on this channel, do not forget to hit that bell icon. And also, in case of any queries or any question, please make sure that you post your questions under the comment section so that I can respond to them in a timely manner.